Two, one. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to CBJ Sports. This is episode 22. Billy's going to join in whenever he gets done. He's doing something with his family right now, but it's us three so far. Of course, you can see Josh and CJ have on our new merch that we made. I don't have mine yet, so I'm not wearing it. This week, we're going to talk a little bit. I have Deshaun Watson as my background. There's been reports that Deshaun Watson could be a Panther or a Dolphin this week, but we're going to talk that. We're going to go college football pick'em as next Saturday college football starts, MLB, NBA action as trades have happened while we've been away. Some preseason talk as the NFL gets closer, but everyone have a good week. CJ, Josh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. First, we're going to start off with the guy that's right behind me in Deshaun Watson. A lot of allegations and a full FBI investigation has started under Deshaun Watson, but a report yesterday saying he's going to be traded in the next few days. And the leading two teams are the Miami Dolphins and the Carolina Panthers, with the Broncos and the Eagles also being in that mix. Our thoughts and feelings of who the best fit is and if Deshaun Watson is worth the price. I'm going to start it because my team is involved. I think that he is a better fit for Carolina. Me and Billy's a Dolphins fan, had this conversation last night. When it comes into fit, I think Sam Darnold's not the complete answer in Carolina, and David Tepper's made that very known. Tua feels like the young guy. They want to see where he is. They want to make him the franchise guy. Sam Darnold's already had that time in New York. The Panthers are almost in win now mode. They have the young defense, the young offensive core where they're going to have to start paying people. Deshaun Watson fits in place as an MVP guy that can fit in play and make that team a contender instantly with a quarterback like Watson. But the second half of that question for me is he worth the price? And he's not. I don't think he's worth 3 first-round picks, not now. And the 2 seconds is kind of a reach also. I think if anything, he's a maybe 2 first and a second guy. And then you trade quarterbacks, but I don't think 3 first is worth anyone. Maybe Patrick Mahomes, but not a lot of guys in the NFL worth 3 first-round picks.
Nah, I think you're just giving up too much because you still don't know if he's going to play. Like, I hope he does, but you still don't. Like, if you don't, then you just lost 5
Yeah, he's
picks.
wasted 3 years of building a team.
But I don't care if – I don't know. He's not worth your 3 first-round picks. You can draft one for all I care. That's not worth it. And I still don't think the Dolphins are still set on Tua yet. But I think if you're going off better fit, Carolina is definitely the move from top to bottom and roster-wise. It's definitely Carolina.
Yeah, definitely. Sean, at the moment right now, is definitely not worth 3-round picks. Now, if this was 2 years ago, then I think he's definitely worth 3 first-round picks. Because then finding a quarterback's the hardest thing to do in the draft. Finding a quarterback, it's the hardest thing to do in the NFL. And someone like Deshaun, he's there, what he can do, and I think he is worth 3 first-round picks. But you don't know what's going to happen with all the stuff that's going on. So at this moment, I don't think he's worth 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, I think also I read something with all this has happened and what the Texans have done to teams, I think its value has dropped to general managers because it's like, oh, you didn't trade us at the trade deadline, so why would we want to trade you now for Deshaun Watson? We're not going to give you the same value that we were going to give you at the trade deadline. I think at least that's how GMs should view it now. So they're not giving 3 first-round picks for a guy that might not play come week 5 if he gets arrested or he's done forever.
Texans really lost out. They should have, when he said he didn't want to play for him, they should have went ahead and traded him.
It's just
value out of him.
It's crazy to me that like 2 years ago they were like a playoff team. Like literally, they were in the playoffs, second round. I mean everything, and then they're like, "Oh, let's trade D-Hop." Oh, franchise down the drain.
Yeah, I think that the weird thing about it, I hate it feels biasy because I love the guy. He played at South Carolina. This whole downshift in momentum, I feel in Houston started with a trade of Jadeveon Clowney. They had a team that was a playoff team, a really good defense, Clowney and Watt on the edges, a good offense. And then you trade Jadeveon Clowney over J.J. Watt, and everything starts to move backwards. The defense isn't as good rushing the quarterback. Then you trade D-Hop, and it's like, oh my God, what are the heck Texans doing? And then you're shocked because Deshaun Watson walked out. So
And
it's
you
like,
didn't even get a first-round pick out of that, too. You got a second.
yeah, you're gonna trade D-Hop for less and want 3 firsts out of Deshaun Watson under rape allegations or whatever he's under at the moment. It's really confusing for me, but I do hope he's a Panther in the coming days. I love Sam Darnold, but Deshaun Watson takes the Panthers into, if you don't make the playoffs, it's a bust kind of team. I really hope that I'm able to see what is behind me this season. Second, the NFL Top 100 has been fully released. The top 10 were talked about. We're going to go through. I need to pull it up real quick. I have the top 10 pulled up on my screen, but we're going to talk top 10 of the NFL Top 100 and go through and see who was not in the right spot, so forth. Anyone else have that picture pulled up? I don't have it pulled up.
I mean, I know who 10 is, though.
Yeah.
I would, but I'm on my phone.
Man, whoever gets it pulled up first can list it.
Oh, my God.
I'm having a brain aneurysm trying to find
Can I
this.
not pull this up?
Okay. I do not have it. It's not in order. It just has the names.
I pulled up and Lamar was one. I was like, what?
Y'all just hang up in there.
Okay, I think I have
got it.
Okay.
You got it?
Does it go Josh Allen, TJ Watt? Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nope.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, so number 10, we can have this conversation first. When I made mine top 100 players, Josh Allen is what, 5th, 7th? I think I have him right there in that range. 10 is a little too low for me for Josh Allen after having almost an MVP type year.
I think it blows my mind that Aaron Rodgers is not one he's not one. He won MVP. We still put Patrick Mahomes above him. And then, and if we're going, Josh Allen should be the second quarterback on the board as far as lowest wise because he was second in MVP voting. Like I don't see how you put Tom Brady over him. I really don't. Like I get it's Tom Brady, but
I'm about to say I'm okay because I
God.
predicted that Patrick Mahomes would be one, but the Tom Brady thing is
That just blows my mind.
Kind of out there. It's kind of a hot take.
Like I can give you the Patrick Mahomes one, but I'm not giving you the Tom Brady one. No, like it's not happening. Nope. He should be, like you said, around 5, if not second to third quarterback off the board.
Well, also I think the disrespect to TJ Watt at 9 is a little iffy. He led the league in sacks and is 9. Like I get Aaron Donald's really good. But who else is above?
Let's be honest. TJ Watt should have 2 Defense Player of the Year awards. So he just got snubbed.
Is there any other defensive guys? No, it's just Aaron Donald. So TJ Watt's the second on the board. Derrick Henry at 4, Travis Kelce at 5. I think the Travis Kelce being so far ahead of George Kittle was kind of AIDS. I'm being honest.
Wait,
George Kittle's, I think, a better tight end.
How many games did he play last year, though?
I thought he played 15.
Kittle?
No, he missed a good bit.
His ankle.
I mean, really, George Kittle.
Devontae Adams over Stephon Diggs. That's kind of iffy.
That's what this whole list is. It's all player votes. It's not based.
Yet again, that's why we
their
made
stats
our
or
list.
anything. They just put up players, and then the NFL players voted on it. That's why, technically, like Pat Mahomes is one. I understand he's a great quarterback, but I mean, you think the MVP would be number 1, right?
Yeah, but I also agree with I mean, if the players voted, that's one I think the players may have got
Yeah.
right. I think Patrick Mahomes could have won MVP last year, or Josh Allen. I think those two should both be ahead of Aaron Rodgers. They were in mine, but I do like the MVP argument. He should be one. I think the NFL Top 100 is also a view kind of thing, a clickbait kind of reasoning to post a top 100 players because I feel like they don't believe in what they post because having DK that high is really iffy. Kyler Murray, where he is, was kind of iffy. It's just the whole list
They
is
don't
so
put Tom Brady
bad.
top 10. They're just gonna get the most
Yeah,
heat.
the whole list is terrible. Like, I know Billy made Travis White at 97 is absolutely blasphemous in my eyes. Like, I just don't see it happening. Uh, I mean, DJ Moore is not a top 100 player on this list. I think that's absolutely insane. Uh, but it's so clickbaity. It starts arguments really easy. So I think that's why they do it every year. The player votes has to stop. That has to end. The players
Yeah.
ruin this.
Because Khalil Mack's almost in the top 20.
Yeah, the players ruin this whole list. I saw one that was a Colts player, and he had Marlon Mack ahead of Aaron Donald. And I was like, oh my God. Oh, I was like, that's great for the NFL to see. It brainwashes children that watch NFL football. It's like, oh, Patrick Mahomes is the best player. Okay, I got it. It's like, not every year. No, he's not. Yeah, Tom Brady's top 5. Nah, it's a lie. He's 37.
Yeah.
It's like, it's really tough to watch. Talking about DJ Moore and wide receivers that were lower or higher, all of us giving one name of an underrated wide receiver that could lead the NFL in yards. And if anyone else wants to start, I would prefer to go last.
I have two names. I got Keenan Allen and Corey Davis. Like, I know a lot of people overlook Keenan Allen. That's why I have him as under this topic. But I mean, it's very possible. Keenan Allen's to me, he's top 3 in route running and separation yards every year. But I mean, I'm just ready to see Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen connection this year. I know it was really good last year in his rookie year, but I think this year's going to be even better. And the Corey Davis one is just it's iffy. It's either a yes or
If
it's a
Zach
no.
Wilson's good.
Yeah.
I have with the confirm of Jameis Winston starting for New Orleans. I have Marquise Callaway for the Saints. Michael
That's a good
Thomas
one.
is not going to be playing, and him and Winston's connection during preseason week 3 this week. Was it this week? Yeah, it was this week. Of week 3 looked really, really good.
I have two. I have a bias and a little unbiased one. First one, bias. I think all of you expected this. DJ Moore could be the leading
What?
receiver in the NFL, and it really could happen with a guy like Sam Darnold. He's done it 1,000 yards every single year with a different quarterback, 2 head coaches. I think it was 4 or 5 different starting quarterbacks, and he still puts up 1,000. DJ Moore with a consistent. If Sam Darnold's the guy, and we don't get Watson, I think DJ Moore could have a crazy year. But my unbiased one. Okay, this one was weird for me. I wrote this down. I'm in love with him. I don't know why. Chase Claypool could take over the NFL in any year to come. He is, what do they call him? It's like Mapletron or something like that in Pittsburgh.
Maple.
I think it's
I know you're talking about.
Mapletron.
The Maple Leaf.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it is because he's from Canada, but he's what 6'4", 6'5". He's a really good route runner. He makes Big Ben look better than he is.
That's what I say. Like, I really like Chase Claypool. I
Yeah,
just don't know.
that was my
Steelers
first
in a passing
That was
game
my
right
first
now.
sentence. I don't know if the offense is going to work
about
to get
that.
him the most receiving yards because I think Najee's going to have a really big year in Pittsburgh. But an underrated receiver that I think could pop off is Chase Claypool. That's why I took him. He could lead the NFL in receiving yards if he takes over how I expect. Moving on, this is a topic Billy brought up last night. Most likely team to underperform this year. And okay, I hate to say this, but I really I really think it's going to be the Colts. So there's a lot of hype in Indianapolis that they could be a playoff team, and I really don't think Carson Wentz is going to live up to the expectations. Jonathan Taylor would have to put up the same year he had last year. Michael Pittman and Zach Pascal are going to have to step up at wide receiver, as that wide receiving core is very, very small right now. The defense may not be the defense we expect in Indianapolis this year. But if any team's going to take a big drop off, I think it's going to be the Colts.
I got the 49ers. I feel like it's the same story every year. They're always 49ers are going to be back this year. They're going to be back, but I think they're still going to be injury prone. They play in a really tough division. I think that's what hurts them most of the time a little bit. But it's really just going to come down to the quarterbacks and that defense staying healthy. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do that.
I was going to say, I think the 49ers are in a better situation because, like, if Jimmy G does play bad, you get to see if Trey Lance can do it. So I think they're in an okay situation.
I got two teams. I'm not sure. I got Ravens just because they're down to their technically would have been their third string running back last year.
Yeah.
And then I got Denver with them starting Teddy now over Drew Lock. I think Denver could be so good with Drew Lock if they just let Drew Lock unleash, and then with that defense they've drafted Patrick Surtain. They have amazing corners and safeties. They're just amazing on defense. And
Okay, I love how you brought both of those teams up because I have two big things on both. First off, the Broncos, I think I've explained this to CJ and Billy. I don't know about you. I hate the decision to start Teddy Bridgewater, not just because I'm a Panthers fan and I watched him play. There's no logical statement behind starting Teddy Bridgewater in Denver. If anything, you play Drew Lock, and if he plays bad, Teddy's a backup plan, and you let him roll. But you haven't seen the potential of Drew Lock fully. You have a really good team. If anything's going to pop on that team, it's going to be with Drew Lock at the helm, not with Teddy Bridgewater. And you can ship that boat into sea and ride off on it. Teddy Bridgewater will not make the playoffs with that Denver Broncos squad.
They should have gave Drew Lock a full year with Cortland Sutton, who's coming back. Who didn't play at all last year.
Drew Lock, yes, had the decision-making problems, but we've seen what there was a point in a 3-week period where people were giving Drew Lock MVP hype in that 3-week span where he was putting up 350 a week. Like, this kid has pop potential, and I think they should have rolled with him. But with the J.K. Dobbins situation, I'm going to go back and clip it from last week. I told everyone a fantasy sleeper was Gus Edwards, that no one listened and everyone laughed in the Zoom call. But I'm going to go back and clip it because if you listen to me and took Gus Edwards as a fantasy sleeper, you're living lavish right now because he's getting all the reps in Baltimore this year. And Gus Edwards going to have a crazy year at the running back position in Baltimore. And I think I called that one last week, so I just wanted to say that real quick. Anyone else have anything in the NFL they would like to talk about? No Bills stuff. Nothing happened in the preseason crazy.
I mean, Bills to the Super Bowl. You're right.
Will Greer had a 24-yard touchdown run.
I've seen that.
Josh Allen just came out firing.
Yeah, Josh Allen looked really good. I was telling my dad that like last year, there's a couple plays where like Josh Allen would roll out and try to get the ball downfield or just make a play somehow. But just watching him, he threw 2 incomplete passes the first drive. 2 were both throwaways. They were screenplays and they were busted. So besides taking a sack or running, just in the dirt. I mean, that's how many times do you see Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady doing that a game? Like, that's just what he's got to learn this year to do is just don't take sacks as much.
Yeah, I think Sam Darnold also looked good in his first preseason start where he played a good bit. Had a touchdown pass to his former Jets wide receiver, Robbie Anderson, in the end zone. Terrence Marshall ended the preseason as the top-rated rookie wide receiver. I think it looked as good as you wanted. The starting defense looked good against Pittsburgh. Yes, I know Mason Rudolph and a lot of the guys didn't start for Pittsburgh, but Brian Burns had a pick. So the defense, it looked pretty good in my eyes. But moving on to the NBA. The Bulls finally make their last move to start the NBA season. Yes, they're going to probably sign one more backup power forward as a veteran. I seen Paul Millsap has been brought up in the news, but they finally moved on from Larry Markkinen as the last key trade in the Bulls starting to rebuild and make this push for the playoffs. Larry Markkinen to Cleveland, also Portland involved. I think Larry Nance Jr. went to Portland. The Bulls got Derek Jones Jr. and a pick, and the Cavs got Larry Markkinen. Ceiling for Larry Markkinen in Cleveland. I'm going to start it. I know the most about Larry. I've watched him for years. He's injury prone. Yes, that's why the Bulls wanted to move on. But he's worth money. He's worth the money that he's going to get paid in Cleveland. He was getting comparisons to prime Kristaps or rookie sophomore Kristaps. He was getting comparisons to Dirk Nowitzki. He's a guy who can shoot lights out. He's made I think it was 100 threes faster than Steph Curry at the power forward position, which was crazy to watch in Chicago. And he also can finish at the rim better than most power forwards. He's got plenty of poster highlights. He can do it all at the power forward position. If he learns that he can be aggressive in Cleveland, I think Cleveland's going to get a star, an all-star power forward in Larry Markkinen. I think that's his ceiling, though, is an all-star season for Larry.
I don't know. I wrote down that I don't think his ceiling is high as people think because I just don't know if he's going to fit in that offense. I mean, you got Sexton if he's still there, if they don't trade him away. You got Garland, you got Isaac Okoro, and they just drafted Evan Mobley, which is probably going to be their starting power forward. I mean, I just don't know
I
where.
think Mobley's going to play center.
He's a center.
I think Mobley will be the 5 and Larry will be the 4.
There's no way 184 million Jarrett Allen is coming off the bench.
Oh, they did re-sign Jarrett Allen.
That's what I'm saying. If
maybe Evan Mobley doesn't start
a
rookie
lot.
year. Maybe Evan Mobley doesn't start rookie year.
See, I don't know. That's the thing. That's the big question mark. If Mobley starts, I don't think he needs to get out of there because I don't think he's going to get playing time. I don't think his ceiling's going to be that high because Mobley can do it all.
Third overall or second overall pick and not playing him. I don't think
Mobley's going to be
especially
a
on a
really
team
good
like that.
NBA power forward. I don't know. I don't think in Cleveland it's going to be as high. I think somewhere else. If he went somewhere else, yeah.
And Josh, you got anything?
Yeah, I just don't. Like I said, I don't think. I know they re-signed Jared Allen, so if they play Mobley at the 4, then I don't know exactly how they're going to use.
See, a lot of NBA teams. To me, I know it's off and on. I've had this argument with plenty of people. It depends on the team, depends on the GM. A lot of rookies in the NBA, unless they're proven guys, do not start year 1 or they have to work their way up to the middle of the season to get the starting job.
If you draft the top 5, though, they're usually all starting.
That's what people said about the Bulls last year, and Pat Will came off the bench for a month and a half, 2 months. It really depends on the team. Trae Young, a lot of people don't know in Atlanta, Trae Young didn't start game 1. It took him a few weeks, and then he gained that starting job. Unless they're Zion, a lot of the times rookies, it takes a few weeks to get them into the starting role. If Evan Mobley starts, I think Lowry's going to come off the bench, and yes, then he's probably trapped in Cleveland. He's going to be rotated around for a while. But if he gets that certain job, Larry can be a 25 per night kind of guy. He's just got to find the right offense to roll. I want to take a second before we move on and look at the other side. The Bulls and Derrick Jones, how does it fit? I think it's good for the Bulls. Yes, we have a lot of guards. I think he's going to probably run the 3 off the bench maybe. But I think it's just creating a lob city in Chicago. A lot of guys that are athletic, a lot of guys that can dunk the basketball. Derrick Jones can shoot a little bit also. I think it's good to have young athletic guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be Chicago's like Draymond Green of the Bulls. Just he's gonna be that key piece to that bench, or if he might get a couple starts here and there, but yeah, he's gonna be that key factor for the Bulls this year.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I think Derrick Jones is a very, 2 dunk contest champions and one roster. I think I like it a little bit. It's going to be fun to watch. Most improved in 6-man predictions. We'll start with most improved and work their way to 6-man. Most improved, I'm going to say in Chicago. I think Lonzo Ball could get it. I think he's going to average a lot of assists. I could say over under 12. I think Lonzo Ball could hit that mark with this offense. And if he averages over 18, 20 range. I think Alonzo Ball could really win Most Improved in Chicago, especially if the Bulls are a playoff team.
I got OG on Anunoby for the Raptors. I mean, he played really good last year, but I think with them drafting Scotty Barnes in the first round, I think that's where OG's he's gonna take himself over the top and win it, because I mean somebody's gonna have to get that starting job. They're gonna have to fight for that starting job, and I think that's where OG's gonna take it over the top this year.
I'm gonna go Kyle Kuzma. I think
That is not a
your
very
word.
likable take.
It's a sleeper pick. Let's say that. That's a sleeper pick. But I mean, he's kind of in that place now to where it's like he's not shadowed by like a LeBron or something. Like this is the year that maybe he pops off big time.
Yeah, I think Kyle Kuzma gets a lot of hate that's undeserved. He shot a higher clip than Trae Young from three all year long. He made more threes than Trae Young all year long. I think Kyle Kuzma's a better
we
shooter
should
than.
agree that Trae Young is not.
Yeah, I bet that
is.
Trae Young's going to be
I
put
feel
out
like
as
we're
a
always
star,
saying that
a
Trae Young.
leader in the NBA, as a shooter, the next Curry, some people would say.
No.
But Kyle Kuzma played really good for get the hate that he got all year long in LA. I think that is a very real Most Improved Player prediction. Sixth man. There's not a lot of options. I think Jordan Clarkson could run away with it early. It's still Utah. They're going to be good. Jordan Clarkson's going to put up 20 a night. That would be my first pick. But if I'm going to go bias, I mean, we're going to get to watch maybe Pat will come off the bench this year at the small forward position, and he could be really good at six man for the Bulls.
All right, I was going through this, and I've seen a bunch of things where Kevin Huerter is not starting this year, and or Benny, whatever you want to call him. But who's the rookie they drafted out of Auburn? Cooper.
Sharif Cooper.
Yeah, they're saying he's going to play the two. If it happens, I don't think it will. It might though, but if Kevin Huerter comes off the bench, I think that's kind of getting six man right there. I mean, he was averaging 2018 in the playoffs last year, his first time ever, and I think he's going to win it.
I think you could switch both of those names, and one of them could win six man.
Yeah.
Sharif Cooper is going to be a bucket in the NBA. It's just going to take time for him to get used to it, but that was a guy I think is going to be really good in a few years. Josh,
I'm gonna go Derrick Rose.
That's a good one.
I think the Knicks got a little taste of the potential they actually have, and I think they could go a little further this year.
Yeah, Derrick Rose is the guy that, I mean, if he's a six man in New York, he's going to put up almost 20 a night.
I got to say something about the Knicks real quick.
Go ahead, man.
I don't like the Knicks made the playoffs last year. I do not think they're going to go past the first round if they don't get another star or superstar to help Julius Randle, because Julius Randle last year in the playoffs looked horrible. Like, it was bad. He was just not ready. Do I think he'll be ready this year? Maybe. I don't know. But if they want to go somewhere, they're going to have to get another superstar or star to go along with them.
Yeah, I don't think Julius Randle's going to be able to take them to Title Town if they really want to go there. I think they do need one more star, and they really made a bunch of mistakes during the offseason, re-signing a lot of those guys 30 mil contracts, especially a guy like Nerlens Noel. It's just not a good look in New York. That's going to wrap up the NBA talk, as we're really in the offseason. It's kind of a dead period in the NBA. A lot of the final trades are happening as we get closer and closer to preseason start of NBA basketball, which is a little bit of time. The NCAA kicked off yesterday. A lot of small games. I'm trying to think of games happening yesterday. UCLA, Chip Kelly won his first non-conference game at UCLA yesterday since he's been there. He was 0-6. They beat Hawaii big, I'm pretty sure. Illinois beat Scott Frost in Nebraska pretty bad, which is kind of shocking. Scott Frost was literally under investigation like 3 weeks ago for recruiting violations, and now everyone's like making memes. It's like, oh, they're dropped now. They suck. They didn't cheat. But it's kind of sad to see Nebraska start losing it again, as they've had a couple rough years. But it feels good. College football is close. As you know, me and Billy are big South Carolina fans. Josh and CJ are Clemson fans. Me and Billy are going to be in Williams-Brice Saturday to watch Shane Beamer's first game. But upset week one prediction. I think we did this a few weeks ago and Billy wrote it
Yeah.
down. So this was really for Billy. I'm pretty sure I
Me
went
and you
FA.
went with
Yeah,
me
we
and you
went
went
over
FAU.
Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that who you went with, Josh, too?
Yeah, that's what we're all said.
Yeah.
That's like the best, most possible one.
Yeah. Well, if Billy joins in the next few minutes, we'll let Billy go back and pick his upset for week one. But we're going to start a segment that we're going to have every single week for NFL and college and keep our records and have it updated every single week so we can see who knows what they're talking about and who doesn't every single week in NFL and college football. It's going to be a test for me because I feel like I'm the college football guy, especially out of us three. But the NFL should be fun too because we all watch a lot. But CJ and Josh definitely keep up with the NFL a little bit more than college. But it's a big first weekend. The first game up is Penn State versus Wisconsin. I'll let CJ go first and we'll wrap around the board.
I got Wisconsin beating Penn State. I got Penn State lost both their star defense players last year, but I got Wisconsin winning it through their run game.
Josh.
I got Wisconsin winning. I see lots of things about Wisconsin's defense is going to be very special this year.
I'm trying to search a name so I don't sound stupid because I literally just went blank. Let me find it. There it is. I had to have my reasoning when I said this. I'm going to also go Wisconsin. Jack Cohen, the transfer at quarterback, he's really good. I don't think Penn State's back yet since they've had guys like Saquon, Trace McSorley. I don't think they're back to the top. Wisconsin's going to compete in the Big Ten. I think Wisconsin wins a big week one against Penn State. Week two, the really fun one. I think this is the best game on the schedule all weekend long. And it's fun for me because I get to watch Clemson play in a heated SEC game week one. Clemson versus Georgia. I'm going to let Josh go first and work backwards and go Josh, me, CJ.
I mean, you got to go Clemson here, I think. I'm not saying it's not going to be close, but like I know JT Daniels doesn't have his number one target in George Pickens in Georgia. And Clemson's still going to be Clemson. So I'm going Clemson.
All right. I got Clemson beating Georgia, but it's going to be a close one. I think people are underestimating Clemson's defense this year. I know it went really that great last year. You got Andrew Booth. He's probably one of the best corners in the country to me. I think a lot of people are underestimating that D-line. Brian Brees is going to have a good year coming back off ACL tear, I think. Miles Murphy is definitely the best one on that D-line. He's projected All-American this year. But I think Clemson's going to win the turnover battle. I think that's how they're going to win it.
And this is where I make my statement of how real I'm going to be during this pick'em segment for college and NFL. This is going to be the funnest game we see all weekend. Darion Kendrick transferring to Georgia gets to play Clemson again at corner. DJ gets to make a statement as he thinks he's going to be a draft quarterback in the years to come. It's fun week one. I think I'm going Clemson off of what I know. I know DJ is real. I know he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. The run game is a question mark for me in Clemson. I do not know how good it's going to be, but we always know that defense is going to show up and show out when it comes big games. Like CJ, I think they win the turnover battle. I don't think JT Daniels has that go-to guy in the passing game. I think Georgia doesn't score a lot. I'm going to take Clemson 21-10. And I think they scored late to make it 21-10. I think this is a very low-scoring, close game all night long.
You think it's low scoring?
I think the defenses are going to be really good. Georgia's defense is the best part of that football team this year. I'm going to take Clemson in a dogfight all night long, but they break out late. Moving on.
Miami.
No words. Bama, Miami. I don't think we really have to talk about this long. I'm going Bama.
Miami.
Oh, I'm going Miami.
No, you're not. You're not allowed. I'm not going to allow you to go.
I'm going Bama.
Josh, Bama.
Yeah, I mean, if there was ever a year Miami beats Bama, this potentially could be the year. But I don't
Yeah,
see
This
it.
could
Derek
be the
King,
year
maybe.
Derek King
That's what I'm
might win
saying. This might
Heisman.
be
I
the
don't
best
know.
Miami looks in the next 20
See
years,
this. We joke
and
about
nobody
this.
knows about Bama yet. But
See, we joke about this, but Bama fans are really worried about who's playing quarterback in Bama. We literally had to talk with CJ
Yeah.
last night with Carter Willis, who's a huge Bama fan, and they don't know if Bryce Young's going to be the starting quarterback week one. They're really confused at quarterback for the first time I've seen Bama in a long time. But I think Bama's going to be fine. They're going to run the football as usual. The defense is really good again. I think they blow out Miami early. The next one's kind of a toss-up. Iowa, Indiana. I'll go first. I'm going to go Indiana off quarterback play. They have a Heisman guy. I think Iowa's not the Iowa we've seen in recent memory. And Indiana's offense was really good last year in the Big Ten. I think Indiana wins close and late, like the Clemson game. But this is going to be a game to watch if you're a college football fan. I think Indiana's got a fun football team.
Take Iowa on this one. Iowa's won 7 straight coming out of 2020, or 6 straight coming out of 2020 season. Got a really good quarterback. I don't know his name. While I was doing my notes, I seen it, but he's in the running for what's the quarterback of the year award? I don't know what it is.
No,
It's something I was looking at. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I'm taking Iowa over Indiana.
First disagreement. Good, Josh.
yeah, I like Iowa's quarterback. I think their quarterback's the one that was in QB1, the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like him. I'm gonna go Iowa.
So that could be our first difference-making, record-changing event in college football as we go different in Iowa, Indiana. I switched it up. I think it was backwards in the notes, but I'm going to do Texas Tech versus Houston first. This is a game me and Billy saw on the schedule last night, and this is going to be a very interesting one. Houston's a very good Go-5 school. Texas Tech is on the come-up in the Big 12 to compete with guys like Oklahoma State, Iowa State. I'm going to go with the Go-5 week one. I think Houston's a really good football team. They're good every single year. They can recruit. They didn't lose a lot of guys last year. I think Houston wins. I'm going to go big. I don't think Texas Tech's back yet. I think Houston puts the Go-5 teams on the map week one.
All right. I got Texas Tech beating Houston here. Got a QB transfer from Oregon. Really good. He's got first-round talent in the NFL, but
Next Mahomes.
Next Baker?
But no. But they're returning all starters on their defense. That's the best linebacker group they've had in a while. But I think Texas Tech wins it like the Clemson game in the turnover battle.
I'm gonna agree with Blake on this one. Houston they can always put a good team together. In the last 5-6 years, they've been doing really good, and I'm sure they're gonna have another first rounder come out of their team this year and just have draft picks throughout the draft. So I'm gonna go Houston.
I like Houston's football team. I liked them last year, and they didn't lose a lot of guys. So that's really my leaning forward to Houston. The last one's an interesting one. UCLA's already played. They played this week, but they get a primetime game week one for the LSU Tigers. And LSU's got quarterback problems as they're going to start a new guy. But Coach O has a different feeling for this year. I think LSU might be back. I think LSU's going to win big. I think LSU puts up, I don't want to say 50, but I think it's going to be close to 50. I think this offense comes out firing. UCLA's not there yet. Chip Kelly's been trying to get him there for a while, but I don't think it's ready for SEC football yet. I got LSU big.
Yeah, I got LSU beating UCLA. Got LSU's got a new offensive coordinator that he's gonna take this team and put make the country on notice. But they'll have a winning season though.
Yeah, I got LSU. LSU said they're trying to get back to their Joe Brady days with Burrow at national championship form. They're trying to get back to there. I got LSU.
I like it. That is pretty much all the big games for week one. We went through last night and looked at all of them. That's the really prime time ones, or ones that you should watch if you're not going to watch them next Saturday. Those are the games You should have your TV on and turned on. They should be close. Maybe not the Bama Miami game, but the rest of them should be pretty close. As a lot of good players, a lot of good talent, and a lot of good football teams. As college football is finally back and underway. Moving on to the last segment, Major League Baseball. It's been fun all year long as we get closer and closer to playoff time. My Red Sox, their Yankees are fighting for the wild card spots with the Oakland A's. But on the NL side, who's going to win the NL Cy Young without Jacob deGrom in the mix? I'll go first. I'll let CJ and Josh go second and third. I'm going to go Zach Wheeler. I talked about him last night. To me, I think he's maybe the best pitcher in baseball this year. I think Walker Buehler's had a good year, but what Zach Wheeler's done coming off of injury is crazy. He leads the league in strikeouts. I'm pretty sure Zach Wheeler looks perfect in Philadelphia. He's led him to almost a playoff spot in the NL. I got to go Wheeler.
Yeah, I love Zach Wheeler here, but I mean, I gotta go Walker Buehler. He's 13-2, has a 2.02 ERA, 180 Ks, 170 innings pitched. In his last 9 starts, he has a 1 ERA. I mean, he's on fire right now. But I would rather them give it to Zach Wheeler just because the stuff he's had to go through this season with elbow surgery and all that. But I think you're just gonna give it to Walker Buehler though.
Yeah, I agree with CJ with Walker Buehler pitching a 2.02 ERA.
Walker Buehler has had a good year. I think Cy Young, I think a lot of it, yes, is stats, but it's meaning to the team also. That's why I went Wheeler. Miguel Cabrera, he was on home run watch for weeks to hit his 500th. He couldn't do it. Finally, he hit his 500th home run. But that leads into who is most likely to win the Triple Crown in the future. For me, I think there's one answer. Yes, you could go with the up-and-coming Shohei Ohtani. I'm going to go Vladdy. Vladdy Jr. is the best hitter in baseball. I think he's going to be the best hitter in baseball for a long time to come. I got to go Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Vladdy Daddy.
What? You didn't want to go Mike Trout, bro?
No. He might tear his ACL again.
I have Mike Trout, question mark. He's too old to get there. He's
His
already
legs
30. I
don't
did not
work.
know that. I did not know that. He needs like
To go to the
25 more
doctor.
100 hits and
He needs to
like
go to the doctor.
300 more home runs. I don't think that's happening. But I have, like you said, I have Vlad and I have Tatis.
Fernando Tatis could do it.
I like the Vlad prediction over the Tatis.
I think Vlad's going to get to 500
Vlad's the most.
easy.
Yeah,
Oh,
Vlad's the most, I think, easiest one.
I think Vlad's going to get to 500 like early in his career. I just don't. Vlad hits so many home runs. It's just crazy. I mean, the problem with Shohei is he's a little too old. I don't know how long he's going to play and how much for power he's going to hit for that long. Shohei has an outside chance.
Look at Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah, Shohei. I just don't know if Shohei's going to play that long. He talks about retiring early. Shohei's going to be a fun guy to watch. I think there's a lot of young guys in baseball that's going to be – baseball's fine for years and decades to come with the power and the youth that is here in baseball. That's going to wrap up CBJ episode 22. Obviously, we see Billy didn't make it today. We're going to get him back next week and have all four of us back for a pick'em of NFL and college football. But we hope you have a good week. Love you guys. See ya. Deuces.
Bye.
Oh, yeah.